powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
Wake up, y'all. Come on, have a great day. Ooh.
Good morning, Wilmington. Good morning, Delaware. It is DETV News' Matt Ford here, in with my very, very special guest co-host, the opera hype girl of Delaware, the TikTok star herself, the VP of Opera Delaware, Kerriann Otaño.
What's up, Delaware? Hi, Wilmington. We are so happy to be joining you today. Honestly, when Ivan told us this was going to be an episode about the arts, Matt and I snatched the mic.
We did.
Okay.
We said, Ivan and Vincenzo, you just stay home.
Stay home. Don't worry about it.
You just stay home.
We got you covered.
We don't
on
need
this
to.
one.
Yeah, you can take this day off.
And
They'll be
so
back
far,
next week.
No lies detected. No. We're about to crash.
We done it right. I told Kerriann they'll either ask us back and we'll have our own show, or the FCC will come barging in and this will never happen again.
Right?
One of the two. Who knows? So listen, for those that don't know you, you're a friend of the show. You've been on the news a few times. You've been on Good Morning Wilmington a couple of times. Tell us who you are, and then about your pin. I feel like I need to ask you about, what is that, the opera?
Oh, ask me about the opera? Thank you. I'm always looking for an opportunity to talk about it.
Who is Kerriann?
I'm the vice president of Opera Delaware, which is the 11th oldest opera company in America. I was a professional opera singer for 10 years. I traveled all around the world. I lived in Italy for a year. I performed in Ireland. I did a tour of musical in Ireland, and I sang at the Kennedy Center, the Metropolitan Opera, all over the United States.
Small venues.
Just not a big
Very
deal.
small, yeah.
Not a big deal
Very
at all.
small venue.
And now I'm here in Wilmington, and people keep asking me, like, what drew me to Wilmington, what drew me to Delaware? Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you, it's people like Matt and Ivan, because when Ivan called me last night to give me this opportunity, this is not something that happens in other cities. This sense of community that we have here, this support that the arts have for each other, that nonprofits have for each other, is really inspiring. And we see that through the collaboration that we have with all the different theater companies and arts organizations we're going to be highlighting today. So that's what made me fall in love with Delaware. I'm so happy to now be a homeowner here.
You are a recent homeowner
I
in
bought
Delaware.
my first house. You're not going to get rid of me, Delaware. You're not going to get rid of me, Maddie. Ivan, put my name on a plaque. I'm staying here. I love Delaware. I love it. And I love like this community that we're building through the arts, and this pride that we're building around Delaware's Arts Center.
So we're happy to have you now as a Delawarean. Tell us a little bit about your husband too, because he is also in the
Oh, you mean that
arts.
Absolute Smoke Show?
The Absolute Smoke Show.
My husband, Dane Suarez, is starring in our upcoming production of Verdi's Rigoletto at the Grand. So Rigoletto is a top-tier opera. It has these absolute bangers. Every track a jam, no skips, all bops. Okay, this opera is so iconic. La donna è mobile, qual piuma al vento. You know this. And my man, who is so fine and so talented and made his off-Broadway debut last year, that boy is one of the stars of the show. So I need you to run, not walk, to your nearest computer and head to operade.org and get your tickets to Verdi's Rigoletto and the opening night micro gala, which we can get into more. You know I love to talk about the opening night micro gala, but let's talk about more. Let's talk about our weekend. What did you do this past weekend?
So I had a couple Halloween parties, but I didn't end up going. It was just kind of a chill weekend, stayed home.
Did you put on your costume and just kind of vibe by yourself?
Yeah, I did. I got ready for it. We have a Halloween party in 2 weeks. I can't say what I'm going to because I'll send Ivan and Vincenzo a picture, but it's pretty fun.
Okay, do you know what you're going to dress as?
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to give the people a sneak? Are you going to give us a hint?
So you may know me from the news, so it may have something to do with it. It's not a news anchor, not boring like that. It's like something that's made the news, and it's going to be very funny and a little bit like, oh, wow, I can't believe he did that.
So I'm so ready for this.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
I'm feeling like it's probably going to be Barbie and Ken. I mean, I just really feel like with this jacket, like I see putting my husband some blonde streaks in his hair for the night.
Will Dane wear the I Am Knuff shirt?
Listen, if he won't, then I really need to reconsider this marriage. Absolutely. That is such a good I Am Knuff is so funny to me. They really nailed it with that.
They did. So I believe you were in our great city of Milford over the weekend. Tell us about that.
I was. So Opera Delaware travels all over the state. We do this program called Pop-Up Opera. And the idea is that opera itself can be kind of intimidating. It can be a big investment to go to an opera. So what we like to do is give people this kind of opera 101. We're going to give you a couple of the absolute hits of opera. We're going to have some fun. We're going to play some trivia. And the city of Milford invited us down this past weekend to do an event to fundraise for their Santa house. So they had a beautiful fundraiser. We had an incredible electric Mercedes out front.
Whoa.
Beautiful. We had wonderful sponsors who provided the alcohol. It was a great little fundraiser for their Santa house, and about 50 people got to experience opera for the first time in the city of
That's
Milford, right in their own community. You don't have to go as far away as Philly or New York or DC. We are right here in your own state, and it was amazing to connect with the people of Milford like that. We're going to go back in November, on November 17th, for a 5-course dinner. Get this, Maddie. Get your tickets. 5-course dinner, catered by Chef Zeus at Benvenuto, and this dinner is curated to go along with a performance by our artists. So our artists put together what I'm considering like an Andrea Bocelli kind of Italian Christmas, where you get opera hits, things like Nessun Dorma, things like O mio babbino caro, beautiful things, but then also I'll Be Home for Christmas, Baby. Also a little Oh Holy Night. We're going to give you those hits that make that make you feel like you're in the Christmas spirit, and an incredible meal. That's going to be back in Milford in November. So Opera Delaware is kind of all over the state, and we're trying to come to every community.
I love it. You know, Kerriann, to your credit and to Opera Delaware's credit, you guys are bringing what, and I had told you this when we first met back in January. I think we've met back in January. And, you know, people think of opera as out of the realm. It's too expensive. It's for the upper echelon. I can't afford it. What do I wear to the opera?
Yes.
So if we follow you on your TikTok and your Instagram, you break down these barriers every single day, right?
Yes.
What do people wear? I love your answer to this. What do people wear to the opera?
Listen, he didn't know that he was going to set me up for this, but he has set me up, and I love my man for it. So the rule at the opera, people always ask me, what am I supposed to wear?
Right.
They think they have to wear something that's expensive, that's fancy. The rule is, I want you to wear what you are proud of. I want you to wear what you want to be seen in. This is an event for you as much as it is for our artists. So turn up in a look that you want to remember. For me, that's a polka dot ball gown and purple Converse sneakers, right? It could be like your old favorite bridesmaid's dress or your prom dress. We had a bunch of students from DSU who came to the opera last year who didn't get to go to their prom, who wore their prom attire. But really, it's about wearing something that you're proud to be seen in, because we have a red carpet runway, and I want you up on that red carpet runway, taking pictures, strutting your stuff, showing people how you turn up at the opera.
I love it. Fantastic. We have a couple news things to get to. Have you heard about Big Ives Turkey Drive?
Big Ives Turkey Drive.
Have you heard about this?
I have heard that we are feeding 22,000 people.
22,000 people around
Now, this
Delaware
is our Big Ive. This is Ivan, our king.
Yes.
Okay, tell me more. This is my first year, like my first official fall in the great state of Delaware. And tell me more about what Big Ive does.
Let me tell you, small is not in Ivan's vocabulary.
Facts.
Everything big.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like huge television studio, TV network. Like he doesn't do anything
Some
small.
would say he's operatic.
Operatic.
And
there
I
you
love
go.
that.
Yes. So Ivan has made a pledge to feed 22,000 people this Thanksgiving.
Incredible.
That's a lot of people.
That's incredible.
And he's going to do it, I have no doubt.
And how is that achieved? How is he doing that?
Obviously donations of all kinds.
Key.
Donations of all kinds are obviously key. Stay tuned to Good Morning Wilmington and the news, shout out, and the news, and we will have updates every newscast when you watch Ivan and Vincenza on Good Morning Wilmington. They'll have updates. We will get updates on social media. Ivan's very good about keeping us updated on our social media. So that's coming before you know it in a couple weeks, and we would love for you to be a part of it. It would mean a lot to us as an organization. As you may or may not know, our famous Norm Oliver had passed the baton last year, and he was in charge of the turkey drive for many, many years, and he had passed the baton last year to Ivan, and Ivan is just taking it up notches and notches and notches. So big props to him, and I'm super excited to be a part of it. I can't wait.
So the goal is 22,000.
22,000 people.
Incredible.
We
can do that.
Throughout the state. We're not just talking Newcastle County. We're not just talking Wilmington. Throughout the state of Delaware.
Throughout the state.
Nobody's going to go hungry this Thanksgiving.
I love that.
Don't you love that?
This is why Delaware is so special.
Yeah,
the community, the nonstop nature of the people in the state to take care of each other is really inspiring.
It
so
really is.
Absolutely keep an eye out for more information
social
about
media,
Big
the
Ives.
shows, it'll be on there.
Turkey Drive.
So have you heard of Stormin' Norman? He's our celebrity here on DETV, Channel 28.
You know I love a celebrity. Yes, tell me more about Stormin' Norman.
So Stormin' Norman hosts Community Crossfire on Sunday night. And it's a show that before I even started working here, hand to God, I watch, because it's like he gives the best interviews. He holds no punches at all. He will ask people the tough questions. He holds like state lawmakers. He takes them to task, and he asks like it's a really good hour of TV. Sunday nights at 9 o'clock if you can catch it. So he is hosting, and I want to make sure I get this right. An event. I'm so sorry. I want to make sure I get this right because it's important. And I watched it last night.
Stormin' Norman.
Stormin' Norman
has to be one of the most gangster names I've ever heard.
Oh yeah, it's the best name ever.
Stormin' Norman.
So
he's out here.
He is. So last night, if you caught his show, if you didn't, he is hosting the second annual Black Man's Conversation and Networking Conference. It's going to be this Thursday, October 19th at 6 p.m. And it's going to be at, is it the Canaan Baptist Church on Newcastle Avenue in Newcastle. For more information, if you have a pen, jot this down, 302-655-8250, 302-655-8250. Listen to some of these heavy hitters, and you know a lot of them who are going to be there.
Hit me.
We're talking Saran Cade from the Department of Management and Budget. We've heard from him, right? Logan Herring, our buddy Logan, is going to be there. Daniel Walker from the Division of Health and Social Health and Social Services. Eugene Young, we love Eugene.
Love Eugene.
Right, and then State Senator Darius Brown, just to name a few.
Darius, amazing.
Yeah, so really big stuff going on there. So please check that out to go into attendance. He's expecting a lot of people, and there's more room for more people. So please make sure that you check that out. Norm is doing really big things.
To have access to people who are that accomplished and that inspiring is going to be so what a fantastic event to put together. And
we've heard from a lot of those men that we just heard at our Leadership Delaware sessions, and they are really changing the landscape of Delaware and doing so many things for the state, not just here in Wilmington, but for the state. So shout out to them.
And doing it through community.
Yes.
It's really inspiring. Yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome. So that's just something we wanted to shout out. So some sad news over the weekend. Suzanne Summers passed away.
We saw Suzanne Summers.
The day before her 77th birthday, I think it was. She would have been 77, I believe, today. Was her birthday. Yeah, so she had a long battle with breast cancer. So obviously just an icon. I was reading about her last night. About some things, and obviously Three's Company obviously just shot her superstardom. But she was one of the first women that I read that had really started this women's movement for equal pay. And so, when she was, John Ritter was getting paid X amount and she was getting paid much, much, much less. And she had started that, hey, I want equal pay. I want something more than what I'm getting. So she really was one of the first trailblazers to kind of spearhead that effort. So
what
that
an
was
inspiring
good for her.
life.
It really is, yeah. I remember her growing up from TGIF and Step by Step.
Yes, Step by Step.
Yeah, I remember that.
What was the theme song of Step by Step? Okay.
Yeah.
We can't afford to pay the rights, so we're not going to give it to you, but it was a bop.
It was good. So our thoughts and prayers are with her. She was definitely an incredible woman.
It's amazing to look back on someone's life like that and see the influence that they had.
Definitely.
The lives that she was able to transform, the people that she was able to touch. It's incredible. And to lose someone like that to breast cancer is so tragic, in particular during Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Right. And she fought hard. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she had beat it for quite some time and had come back. I know that she was a big believer in holistic treatment and things of that nature. So she really, really fought a good fight. And like you said, to pass during Breast Cancer Awareness Month is something to be noted because we want to make sure everyone takes care of themselves and get their checkups. But on that note, I believe that you had an important event for Breast Cancer Awareness Month on Thursday last week.
I did. I was so honored to get to participate. It was at Nomad, which is a gorgeous little bar. You wouldn't.
It's great.
From the outside, it doesn't have a big sign or anything, but it says open, right? And you go inside, and it's such a cool little hole-in-the-wall bar. So fun. Jamie Watts, who is a friend of ours from Leadership Delaware, an inspiring, incredible woman, she hosted a fundraiser there on Thursday where we did guest bartending. Nice. And for me, guest bartending is maybe not what it is for most people. I think for most people, they make you a little cocktail. For me, it's mostly that I just stand behind the bar and look cute and say, really would you please like to donate to this great cause?
Did you wear your opera pin?
You know I did.
I figured you might have worn your opera pin.
Ask me about the opera. Well, this is what I can bring to the table. I can pour you a glass of wine. Don't ask me to pour you a beer unless you mostly like foam. That's what we learned. But it was an amazing event. It was a great fundraiser. Right. So many people showed up. And again, I'm going to keep harping on this because I really need Wilmington and I really need the state of Delaware to understand that what you have here is special because the community turned up for this woman. People who have known her for years, people who are new to her life showed up because this is something that affects all of us. And we really want to take an active role in improving our community. So congratulations to Jamie and congratulations to the city of Wilmington for coming together.
Excellent, excellent. So the other thing I wanted to mention was, are you a Swiftie?
Am I a Swiftie? Well, I know Chris Neary is. And so I'm going to give a shout out to Chris Neary. I know.
Oh my God. I think he just turned 10 shades of red. I'm pretty sure he just turned 10 shades of red.
I outed him. Listen, you got to respect the game.
Whether you like her or not, she's a brilliant woman.
You have got to
whether
respect
you like her or
the
not.
Game.
Right.
To see, again, like to see the trajectory of where she has come from in her career as a singer-songwriter, a trailblazer. Now, am I going to spend my mortgage to go see her perform live? I can't. Listen, America, I can't. I work in nonprofit. I can't. I hope that you all had a great time at her performances.
Well, lucky for you.
Thank you.
Lucky for you. She just released her Eras tour movie in every single movie theater across the planet. Incredible. It seems. Broke all kinds of records. I think just in the first weekend, I think it was like $125 million globally.
Oh my gosh.
So she blew, God bless him, Michael Jackson, the Biebs out of the water with her concert.
Biebs
even? Right, yeah. Blew them out of the water, and people dressed up. They turned out for it. I have a friend who went with a bunch of girlfriends of hers, and they each wore outfits. I wish I had a picture of her different eras.
Yes.
I was like, you know what? That's too much for me. But I respect it.
Now you've gone too far.
You've gone a little bit too far, but it's fine. She doesn't. Hopefully, she's working, so she would not watching this, so she doesn't know that I just badmouthed her. But
I love that. I love the opportunity to get dressed up. And celebrate something like that. You know, like people who can't necessarily afford or couldn't get to, or just want to relive how magical the Eras tour was.
Now, listen to this marketing strategy.
Tell me.
Guess how much the movie ticket was to see her. Guess to the penny how much the dollar amount was to see her, the ticket.
Is it the year she was born? Is
$19.89.
Am I a marketing wizard?
Okay. I mean, only that. Basically, her and Oprah are the only two people that have that kind of power.
Yes.
So I'm actually just going to set this price, and that's what it's going to be.
Oh, I love that.
It's crazy.
And
then, do you know
iconic.
what? Yeah. So her lucky number is 13. Do you know what a children's ticket costs?
I'm gonna listen.
I know it's hard.
Is it 13?
It's going to be $13.
Blammo.
It's going to be $13.
Cool.
So
I love that.
So anyway, as you probably know, Saturday Night Live also started this weekend because the writer's strike is over.
Oh, yes.
For right now.
Yes.
So they started back. Pete Davison was the host, but it would not be a Taylor Swift weekend if she did not appear with Travis Kelce was there too. So they each made their own cameos. People went wild.
You got to give the people what they want.
You got to give the
and
people
what they want is that couple.
And what they want, they really want that. They really want that. So speaking of that, I want to turn it over to the Eagles because they had a sketch. This was pre-Eagles game. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to say how they did. However, we are going to turn it over to our friend Coach Joe Richmond for the Minute. How are you?
Hey, yo, it's your boy, Coach Joe for the Blue Coats a Minute. Man, oh man, I'm not paying $19, $13, none of that. I'll wait till it get on Netflix or something.
You're not going to pay the $19.89, Coach Joe.
It is so good to see my man, Matt. Oh man, Kerriann, I tell you, I was surprised. I thought it was still Ivan and Vincenza. You know, Matt just a little shorter than Ivan. And you know, Vincenza and Kerriann, they both got that amazing smile and energy, so I couldn't tell which one was which.
Oh my God,
so
please always compare me to Vincenza.
So I tell you,
I would even
been
take
amazing. Our Eagles, as you know, I love what Kerriann said. I'm in Delaware for the same reason she is, about the community. And we're a sports community, right? You got your Sixers, your Blue Coats, your Phillies tonight. So, you know, when one is going down a little bit, the other ones pick them up. The Phillies will pick them up. And, of course, your NBA G League 2022-23 champion Delaware Blue Coats is in the building to make sure all that happens. Hey, it's your boy, Coach Joe, with the Blue Coats Minute. And you know what? We just had the blue and white scrimmage at Chase Fieldhouse. The Sixers were in the building. Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey. Tobias Harris was in the building. Yo, Franklin was in the building. And the number one mascot in the whole G League was in the building.
Who was that?
Cody! And it was amazing. You know what? Grand opening, November 10th. November 10th, Friday night, 7 o'clock. Go to bluecoats.team. Bluecoats.team. Get your tickets right now. Or come see your boy, Coach Joe, right here at Good Morning Wilmington every Monday, 10 a.m. with those. And you know what? They were talking about art. And we got a little surprise for you. We're going to be doing some art too. As we give out the rings, we're going to get our bling. But hey, real quick, don't forget the turkey drive. Norman, Stormin, Oliver, and it's going to be at Canaan. Pastor Bullock, you know he's always in the community. And the Blue Coats are going to be a part of that. Cody's going to be a part of that. Dart's going to be a part of that. We're going to fill up buses with turkeys and we're going to feed the whole state. Let's go, Blue Coats. It's your boy, Coach Joe, with your Blue Coats Minute.
Coach Joe, I can't let you go. I have one more question. Now, what TV station is going to host the Blue Coats game?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I see Kerriann got stumped twice.
I did.
I believe this
that?
news was just announced.
It's like DETV.
Is that it? There it is. All right, very good. Coach Joe, thanks for being here. Don't you love his energy?
Yes, I need that in my life.
This Monday energy.
Coffee?
I love it.
No, Coach Joe.
Coach Joe, yeah, exactly. Coach Joe, thank you very much for the Blue Coats Minute. We'll see you next Monday. Before we go and introduce our guest, I have one more event that I want to tell you about.
Tell me.
The National Coalition of 100 Black Women Delaware Cook-Off was this past weekend. It was a spectacular event, I believe, over the weekend. The Gentleman's Cook-Off is what had happened. A Night in Paris is what it was called. It took center stage and left everybody in awe. Which, if you go to their Facebook page and check out their pictures, it's really amazing to see. The occasion was a heartfelt tribute to the resilience and strength of Black women and girls. Not only did the event successfully raise crucial funds to support ongoing advocacy efforts, but it also provided an unforgettable evening filled with joy and camaraderie. I was looking at the page last night, and it was just incredible. And I was looking at their mission, and they're just an incredible group and do amazing things. I think our friend Sade was there.
Oh my gosh.
And the Aunt Sade Truitt, so shout out to her. So the night generated over $25,000 for Black women and girls.
Incredible.
$25,000. So they had excellent dishes that were there. So fancy I can't even say the words. But white beans prepared with duck and pork and sausage. All kinds of amazing things happening. So it was good stuff. It was good.
And you know, if Sade Truitt is part of it, you know it's going to be a banger.
It's going to be a banger,
right? Because Sade turns up and she brings that Coach Joe energy.
She does have. You know what she is? She does have Coach Joe energy. I wonder if they've met.
Oh my God! And then
I don't know if the world's ready for that.
It
would explode. Yeah, I don't know if the world is ready for that energy. We'll have to make. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we got to let Ivan. I think we're creating a new morning show. I think it's going to be the four of us.
I think so.
Okay, tell Ivan he can take.
He
can take a little more time off.
Yeah, Ivan, you can take more time off. So hey, have you heard of this magazine called Out and About?
Out and About magazine?
Have you heard of it?
I sure have, my friend.
Have you turned to page 2 by chance? Have you turned to page 2?
Now who is
Just
that,
take
America?
get a zoom in.
Who is
Get
that,
a nice
America?
zoom.
Oh.
Who is this?
Oh, look at all of this.
your boy, yeah.
Giving face,
All of
giving
it.
confidence.
You know what I mean?
That is a face that you trust on the news.
Can I tell you something that I probably shouldn't tell anyone, and Ivan is probably going to kill me?
I'm ready.
So every Friday night, we go to Two Stones Pub, shout out Two Stones, and they have a stack of these. I open every single one and leave it out to page 2, and I spread them out. And I spread them out in the waiting area, and I literally, people are waiting, and I hand them out. Here you go, have you seen, here you go. And I make this the new cover. I kid you not.
Oh no.
I hope I don't get fired, but it's marketing.
No,
What are
I
you gonna
love
do?
that. Listen,
No,
we have to do our own.
I believe there's another important page here.
We
Which
have to do
page
our
is
own
this?
marketing and advocacy, and I
What?
would
What
just
is
love
this?
to
We're in the
say-
same issue.
In the same
Kerriann.
issue. Oh, blammo.
What is this?
Singing its praises. You know that's what I'm all about. Telling the people how dope Wilmington is,
I
how
love
amazing
it.
Delaware is, and really hyping up the fact that we have art here, we have culture here that is unmatched.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way that we can keep growing it is by turning up.
Yes.
Right? We got to show up for these events for the 100 Women. We got to show up for this turkey drive. We got to show up for these comedy shows. We got to show up for what we have upcoming later on in today's conversation.
Yes.
These plays and theater that we have going on here. It's incredible what we have in our city, but only if you seek it out.
Important. I think we should get to our guests.
Oh, I love guests.
We have incredible guests, and they're all from the world of art, and we love that. We all from the world of art. Who do we have up first?
Oh, let's see.
Our comic friend.
Oh, Dan ChickHolla. Okay,
ChickHolla.
listen, Dan's gonna say his name for us, but I'm gonna continue to say Dan ChickHolla because that's how he spells it out phonetically so that people know how to pronounce it. Dan is a comedian. He's a writer. He's done sketch comedy, and he performs here in Wilmington, and we're gonna get to sit down with him and learn more about his career,
Yes.
about his
Upcoming
process,
shows.
about his upcoming shows, and about programs that he offers to provide free tickets and access, because he has a program called Let 'em Laugh. Let 'em Laugh provides access and free tickets for programs in this community, like the Food Bank of Delaware and some other organizations that he will share with us.
And then after we speak with Dan, we have friends of ours from the Wilmington Drama League.
Yes.
Have you been to the Wilmington Drama League yet?
Not yet, but I'm going to
Okay,
go see.
So we're going to go see Misery. You'll be my date. I'll
This
take
weekend,
you.
let's
Yes,
go.
this weekend we're going to go. So we have members of the cast and crew, 2 cast members and the director of Misery, which opens this Friday and it runs this weekend and next weekend at the Wilmington Drama League. So we are going to talk about a fun way to kick off the Halloween spirit with Misery. So we'll have those interviews coming right up. A Good Morning Wilmington will return after these messages. Stay with us.
DETV has been Delaware's premium provider of creative digital and broadcasting solutions that bridges communities and connects people. We create great stories for all audiences. We deliver independent news throughout Delaware. We are digital platform innovators. And we develop marketing and sales solutions so you can stay connected to your audience. Now, why do we do what we do here on DETV? We do it because we care. So, keep watching and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Remember, DETV, online, on air, on time.
Still searching for cheap gas prices? Dump the pump and ride DART. You can DART to your destination for only $4 all day. Let DART do the driving while you enjoy our free Wi-Fi available on all buses statewide. While scrolling through your favorite apps, don't forget to download DART's free transit app for real-time bus information and enjoy the convenience of contactless fare payment through DART Pass. So what are you waiting for? Dump the pump and try transit. Visit dartfirststate.com or call 1-800-652-DART.
Government doesn't make a move without an agenda, some type of plan. The problem is we haven't been on the agenda. Sometimes we're overlooked. Sometimes our interests aren't the interest of those in power. I'm your host, Kerriann Gaines, on DETV's new show, The Agenda. We're going to do our best to ensure that you, Delawareans, are knowledgeable about what's going on in the Assembly. Federal government, local government, it doesn't matter. We're going to do our best to ensure that folks that make the agenda on a daily basis have to answer for it. Let them explain what they're doing. If it affects you, it's on the agenda.
Welcome back to Good morning, Wilmington. I'm Kerriann Otaño, and I'm very excited that we're going to be bringing our next guest, a stand-up comedian here in Wilmington. Dan ChickHolla is going to join us to tell us about his career, to tell us about his process, to tell us about upcoming shows. Dan, I'm so excited to welcome you to our program today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. So, okay, a stand-up comedian.
I love this.
This is something that I have always aspired to be myself, if I can be honest with you. The amount of courage that takes. How did you get into, did it start with the writing or did it start with the performing for you?
It started with the writing for me. I actually went to school, got my MFA in writing. So I tried to hack it as a literary guy for a while, but I was too unserious for that. So I found my calling in comedy.
I love
I love unserious. I love unserious.
It's very on brand.
Right.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah.
Excellent. So tell me about your inspiration. Where do you get your inspiration to write your sketches and your comedy?
I don't know. They just come to me.
Just life.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times on the spot, you know, I like to write a lot of jokes even when I'm in the comedy club, things like that, when I'm waiting to go up on stage. I was just on Thursday up in Doylestown, and someone came up to me and they were like, I was surprised that you were one of the comics. I thought you were the accountant running the books or something. You were just furiously writing.
So you're thinking all the time, you're writing all the time, new material.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and you perform once a month, right?
Yeah, I've got my big show once a month.
Yeah, so it's kind of always fresh material then, I assume, if you're always creating new, if you're always writing new ideas and new jokes.
I try to give the regulars something a little different.
I love.
Do you have a regular audience that follows you each month to your show?
Yeah, we've got a few.
Good.
I barely even know when my own family's in the audience. So I'm running cameras, I'm running the, hosting, I'm judging the competition, I'm guest bartending beforehand and all that.
Your regular shows, where do you hold those at?
They're at Theater N.
Theater N.
So
all right, right down.
Yep, right around the corner, right on 10th Street, 10th and Orange.
And they're once a month?
They're once a month.
Okay.
Yep.
And how can people find out more about you and where to get tickets and all that good stuff?
You can find out all about the show, theatern.com. You know, we've got each of our monthly shows there. It's always the first Friday of the month. So November 3rd, December 1st.
Nice.
I don't remember February.
Check it out.
February
Nice. So I want to talk about, are you Delaware born and raised, right? You had told us?
Yep.
We do have to ask the Delaware question, where you went to high school.
I went to Salesianum High School.
All right.
Sally's.
I like that Kerriann's not here, so she'd be excited about
she gets.
Those
of us that didn't go to Sally's are like, all right, yeah, but Kerriann's like, she's the cheerleader. Yeah. So,
I think I really like just the name Sally's. Just feels good to Sally's, give it a shout out. So
yeah, we don't even have a mascot or anything, so
It's
we're kind of like the share.
I'm the mascot.
The mascot is here now.
I'm the mascot of Sally's.
The mascot is here. Actually, a good idea. So, and then after Sally's, where did you go? Where did your career? Where did you?
I went down to
you?
South Carolina to go to school for undergrad for writing.
Okay.
And then went up to City College in New York, CCNY, to get my fine arts in writing.
Okay. And did you dabble into comedy up there, or is that how it was born?
No, such a missed opportunity.
No? Oh, man, all right.
No,
all
I did
right.
not.
Where did you first dabble into the comedy world and that sort of thing? Where did the...
Well, luckily, Wilmington's got its own little community. Like you said, Wilmington's got it all. Got its own little community here. I was thinking, I'll have to figure out how to go up to Helium and Philly and all that. I'll have to bring a friend because I'll be uncomfortable.
Yes.
And I was like, this place, Bar 13, 3 minutes from my house, has got a spot. Went out there. I didn't even go on stage the first time, but all the comics are fist bumping each other, even when they didn't do well and all that. And I was like, I could fail here.
Camaraderie.
This is a safe place to fail.
Yeah.
I love that. It's the only way we get better is by failing. I think people don't.
Especially comedy.
Yes. You got to try it. You got to see what people respond to and then adapt. And that takes such an incredible amount of bravery, but also I'm sure that the friendship among comics, the support among the other people that you're performing with really elevates your own confidence, because they're gonna laugh, they're gonna clap, they're gonna support me, they're gonna make fun of me if I mess up. But they're going to be here again next time. They're going to keep supporting me. That's incredible. I love building a community like that.
And that local love is there too, right? That's really important. You have people locally here, and they love, love to support the locals, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are so supportive whenever I get off stage. If you do well, they say, you were so funny. And if you didn't do so well, they'll be like, you're so brave. I would have died if I were in your shoes.
About that so much. It's like, when people use brave, and it just feels like, oh, just like such a punch in the gut. They really take you out.
I'm going to have to remember that because I feel like I've been told I'm brave a lot. So I should probably,
so brave.
Thanks.
To wear that.
To wear, right, exactly, yeah, yikes.
So tell me about, are there any other comedians or artists who have inspired you?
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I come from the literary world, so I kind of like some talkier British comedians, David Mitchell and James Acaster and so forth.
James Acaster is one of my favorites. The 3-part thing that he did was so incredible. So cool. It's a 3-part on Netflix. Okay. 3 separate, like sort of 1-hour, I guess, sets that he did that all tie into each other in a really interesting, clever way. So that tells me a lot about your brand of comedy.
It does.
Because it's very clever and cerebral and like kind of wordplay and storytelling that's really.
I'll have to check that out.
Oh my gosh, you would absolutely love it. It's very your style.
It's funny you call it cerebral because it's also wild and full of antics and breaks down the wall and so forth.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Oh, it's that amazing balance, right? Between something that's so goofy and high camp and something that like makes you think. I love that. Okay. I'm really getting a vibe of who you are.
So on that track, when you're going through your day, are there things that happen to you where like, oh, this will be good material? Or like, where do you pull from?
I mean, again, I pull from all over. The biggest thing I feel like with comedy and probably writing in general is just write a lot, because only a quarter of them you're going to think is worth trying, and then only a quarter of them you're going to hack most of them when you're talking to yourself in your kid's karaoke microphone in the basement. Just to use a random example. By the time you get on stage, you've already cut 3/4 of them. On stage, 3/4 of them are going to bomb. 3/4 of the ones that do well the first time are going to bomb the second time. So just write, and then eventually you get the opportunity to kind of meld some together, and they become a bit of a story bit. And then if you're lucky, something will happen that day, and you'll have a joke right in your back pocket that everyone thinks you came up with on the spot. A little inside secret there. And that's great. I always say that's like, quoting a movie that no one else has ever seen. It's like, oh, is that from something or something? It's like, yes, it is. Something that I wrote a month ago.
My brilliant, hilarious mind. So your shows, you were mentioning before about Let 'Em Laugh.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that program?
Yeah, so the monthly show is called Let 'Em Cook. So then the Let 'Em Laugh program is to try to make it that, you shouldn't need disposable income or anything like that to come out and have a good laugh. Yeah. So we've been working with some places, especially in the city. You mentioned the food pantry actually at St. Stephen's, right on North Broome. And then we work with Meals on Wheels. Those are both organizations I volunteer with. And we've got more that we're trying to bring into the fold and so forth. And as much as anything, it's a big, beautiful theater. Fill in those seats, get more laughs in there. It's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win situation.
I feel the same way. Listen, I don't know if you know, but I am with the opera.
Are you? I didn't realize.
I feel the same way about the opera, that I want people to know that they deserve experiences like this, right? To know that you don't need to just sit at home and watch comedy or art on your phone or on your TV. That in your community, you can and deserve to experience this. You deserve to go out and laugh with your friends and have a special night. So that's a really incredible program. I'm so glad that you're part of it.
Yeah, because live comedy is a whole other animal from Netflix comedy.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Especially our show plays up as much as possible. It's super interactive. There's a competition where the audience gets to get involved. They get to decide how long someone's on stage, if someone's doing well, and we try to give them the light. They're like, no, let them cook, let them stay on stage.
Let them cook.
And just the energy in the room of that audience. Like 100%. It's so, the artists need it, the performers, the comedians need it.
It's that feeding off of it, right?
Yes.
Is that,
and that's how you build like a community.
Right.
I know you know too from your experience on stage what it feels like when an audience is really engaged.
And kind of drives that energy and makes you want to even just strive for even higher, which
Powerful.
is definitely.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a streak going of performers going out into the audience and kind of messing up my cameras, but it's okay because it's great for the show. No, going into the audience, we had a great performer, Betty Smithsonian, who's big in improv and so forth, right out in the audience, standing on the seats, bringing
cool.
other people up and so forth. I mean, it's something you have to come out and see in person.
Innovation and the creativity, finding new ways to translate and give this art form to people and give your comedy to people. That's fantastic.
So Dan, where do you want to keep this local? Do you want to eventually grow this into other regions and things? Where do you kind of want to take yourself from here? Anywhere in particular?
Yeah, when I first got into comedy, I was like, where do I even want to go with this or
Right.
something? Because I got a family here. I don't want to work 60 hours a week writing for a show or whatever.
Right.
But if I could have a big, great show, Wilmington's biggest show,
Yes.
that would be
We support
that
it.
would be the end.
We
that would
are
be-
the first state. I keep saying this to people. Delaware is the first state. We got to do things big. We got to be bold. I love that. Make it big. You don't have to go and have a 60-hour career where you're 60 hours a week where you're commuting to some other city. You can build it right here, and that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, and you moved here just in time because not too long ago, Market Street shut down at 5 p.m. You couldn't so much as go
He's
into
not kidding.
Walgreens
We're building it
afterwards.
up.
Not kidding,
But
yeah.
I came here, when COVID was wrapping up, or however you want to put that. I came here a night of an art loop, and I tried to get a reservation at any of the many great restaurants that have opened
Incredible
on Market
restaurants,
Street
right?
since. And I couldn't get anything. I was like, what has happened to my city?
It's really turned a 180, hasn't it?
Uber XL's coming up and down the street and
Right.
everything. So I was like, if I do comedy, I want a venue that's right in this neighborhood.
I
And
love
you're
that.
That's
there.
what I got, yeah.
I love that.
Because after dinner, it's like, all right, what now?
Yes.
Right.
Come on out to comedy.
Come on, the comedy.
Yes. So what time does it start? What time do you perform typically?
So we've got a whole agenda. We've got a pre-show party it's actually at Deco, right across the street
Oh,
on
I
10th
love
Street.
Deco.
Yeah, so that's got food options for everyone: pizza,
Excellent.
noodles, sushi,
Yes.
the works.
Nice.
And I bartend there, as I alluded to earlier. I guest bartend until the show starts. And then the show's 7:30 right at Theater End, like I said. And then every show is a double feature. So we've got 7:30 to 8:30-ish is, the great performers that we bring in. A lot of times it's national acts, sometimes it's local, sometimes it's something a little wacky, which I'm sure we'll get into a little bit. And then we take a little break and we come back for a competition at 9 o'clock. So that is an open portion where local comics can come up, even if we've had a lot of first timers, or if they've only been in it for a year or a couple years, they can come on up. And whoever does the best, they come back next time into the main show.
Remind us where people can find out more information
For
online.
tickets, yeah.
Yeah, so theaterend.com is a great place to get tickets.
And where can we follow you specifically on social media?
You can follow me on any of the socials at Dan ChickHolla, like you said.
ChickHolla!
Spelled phonetically, ChickHolla.
Chick Holla.
Yeah,
Got it.
I'm a product of 90s hip hop through. So.
Well, Dan, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you'll come back, and we are definitely going to check out your show.
Excellent. Thank you so much,
Can't
Dan.
wait to have you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Our thanks to Dan. Check out Theater End's website for tickets, as well as follow him on your favorite social media platform. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the cast and crew of Misery. Don't go away.
The Delaware Mortgage Relief Program is still accepting applications. Funding is limited. Apply today. This grant program provides up to $50,000 to qualified Delaware families for eligible housing-related expenses, such as future or delinquent mortgage payments, property taxes, homeowners association fees, or water or sewage fees. Over $20 million has already been dispersed statewide. The Delaware Mortgage Relief Program. Visit online or call 888-303-4324 for more information.
A new beginning, a second chance. Call it what you want, but this is what never giving up looks like. This is what finding someone who believes in you looks like. I thought Goodwill was just a store until a friend told me about Train to Gain through Goodwill's Job Resource Center. After 5 years away, I had a lot of self-doubt and fear about my future. But Goodwill had my back, and today, I love where I work. They matched me with an employer who believes in second chances. And now, I have a new start thanks to Goodwill.
To learn more about Goodwill's career development opportunities, call today.
Still searching for cheap gas prices? Dump the pump and ride DART. You can dart to your destination for only $4 all day. Let Dart do the driving while you enjoy our free Wi-Fi available on all buses statewide. While scrolling through your favorite apps, don't forget to download Dart's free transit app for real-time bus information and enjoy the convenience of contactless fare payment through Dart Pass. So what are you waiting for? Dump the pump and try transit. Visit dartfirststate.com or call 1-800-652-DART.
You know the why for state-of-the-art fitness centers and amazing pools.
But we're so much more.
The why is where Delawareans improve their health.
Where our communities get stronger.
Where everyone belongs.
It's where we battle chronic disease.
Where cancer survivors restore their mind and body.
And weight loss goals become lifelong habits.
We are the why.
Good for you and good for the community.
Welcome back to Good Morning Wilmington. I'm your host, Matt Ford, here with my special co-host, Kerriann and Otaño from Opera Delaware. You're doing a great job.
I'm having so much fun.
Are you having fun?
Yes.
We'll have to do it again.
Listen, have to. I'm going to take all this equipment and we're going to
set
up
we'll just do our own.
Sorry, Ivan, like, you've unleashed chaos now. We're going to have our own show, buddy.
It's been amazing. We have more guests coming up. Ready? All right, so
more theater, more
we
art.
have the director and two of the cast members from the upcoming Wilmington Drama League production of Misery. So please welcome the director and two of our cast members. Welcome to Good Morning Wilmington.
Thank you so much for being with us. Tell us, please introduce yourselves. Tell us the role or the role that you're playing in the production or your role.
Okay, I'm Joe Pukatsch. I'm the director of the show.
Excellent, Joe. Thank you so much for being with us.
I'm Kelky Paulstain, and I play Annie Wilkes.
Annie.
I'm Dan Harkins. I play Buster.
Fabulous.
And we were missing one cast member. We should probably point that out, right?
Yeah,
People that follow the movie, right? Okay.
We were
he
missing
wasn't
our
able
Paul.
to be here, but if you have to. It's a tease. Go see the show. You'll see him.
Yes.
So thank you all for being here. Misery is just a huge phenomenon around Halloween, right? It kicks off. Have you seen the movie?
I have seen the movie. I have read the book.
Have you seen
I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I think he's such an incredible writer, and I've never seen the stage play of Misery, and I think that just sounds like such an exciting way to experience it. Having seen what Kathy Bates did, having read it and kind of envisioned it in my own mind, reading it, I'm so fascinated to see what you all will do to bring it to life.
So I have to tell you, I've worked with Joe before. I've known Joe for a couple of years now. Joe has directed many, many, many shows around the area.
Fantastic.
Joe has directed many shows, not just at Wilmington Drama League, but other theaters around the area as well. He had the misery of having to direct me last year.
Get out of here! Look at that plug.
Yes, right. Yeah. So Joe, what we know horror is one of your passions, right? Why Misery? Why did you pick it? How did that all come about?
Well, when it came out a couple of years ago, it was on Broadway. It was one of the first first plays that Bruce Willis was actually a part of, and there was the old story about he had the earpiece.
I heard that.
Because he couldn't remember his lines, which obviously we know now was because of his medical condition.
Oh, yes.
But he would be doing the show and pick up police scanners and stuff. So he would be doing his lines and all of a sudden be like, perpetrators running down the street. So that was sort of like a joke thing. But the show itself was not a huge hit, but it was still on Broadway. Laurie Metcalf from Roseanne was Annie, and William Goldman, who wrote the actual screenplay for the movie, wrote the screenplay. So it follows the movie very closely.
Okay.
There were a number of changes from the book. They had to tone some stuff down, obviously, but there's still a lot of horror and tension that they retained from it.
Yes.
Has this been a bucket list show for you to do?
It really has.
Has it?
I kind of stalked it. If you know anything about the way plays are on Broadway or wherever they're big, and then it takes a couple of years for the publishing companies to get it. They have to get the rights. They have to make sure there's clearance. And there was hung up on a couple songs that are very important for the show. So I was watching Dramatist's website for years and years, and then it finally popped up, and I jumped on it and talked to our friends over at Drama League, and were able to be like, hey, this would be a great Halloween show. And they were on board, and we've been, on it and opening in 4 days. So
I can't wait. I have to tell you, I am rehearsing for a show later on, in a couple of shows later. So we're rehearsing in the lobby, and all we'll hear are like massive screams from inside the theater, like massive screams, and we're all like, oh god. So we're rehearsing 9 to 5. So we're all like, ah. And they're like just like bloody death screams, and the other like, oh wow, this is very different. So it's very funny to be a part. Yeah, exactly. So I want to go down the line and just see if you can tell us a little bit about yourself. Is this your first time performing at Wilmington Drama League? It's an institution here in Wilmington. I believe is it 90th? 80th? We're close to the end.
Up there, right?
Yeah.
The theater started 1940 was the first
Okay, so
show.
we're not quite, okay.
But that's the first show in this building.
God, okay.
And originally it started at 18th and Market Street and the old Mill Theater, and that was in 1934, I believe.
Wow, all right.
Let me check my notes.
So we're almost getting to the 100 years.
The legacy.
It really is.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible. If you haven't seen a show, we'll go see this
We're
together.
going to see
but
Misery.
yes,
I'm very
exactly.
excited.
Yes. So please tell us a little bit more about you. Have you done plays before or musicals at Wilmington Drama League, and why interest in Misery?
I actually have been volunteering at the Drama League since 2014, actually, but primarily work with children and work directing children's plays and mentoring teens. And before the pandemic, most of my acting was through improv. I was a member of an improv group for a number of years. And after the pandemic ended, I did not really get back into the improv, but stayed with the directing at the Drama League, but started getting an itch to start acting again, and nobody wants me singing on stage.
Me neither.
So when I saw Misery was coming up, I was like, oh, that would be a fantastic opportunity for me to sort of get back into auditioning. No thoughts whatsoever that I would get the part, but I knew Joe from working with him previously, and our paths would cross at the Drama League, and I figured I would go audition, and when I ultimately didn't get cast, I could go to Joe and be like, hey, can you give me some feedback, because I would like to continue auditioning. And here we are.
But then she showed up and she ate. She
Right.
demolished the competition. She was hands down Annie Wilkes. I love that. Okay, I'm so interested in this character because we mentioned the screams. We mentioned how horrifying it is, but also so much of the horror from Misery comes from the subtlety and the quietness, right? So can you tell us a little bit about building that tension in the character of Annie Wilkes? How do you come into that character?
She is a challenging character to play because if you read the book, you get a little bit more of her backstory than is released in the stage version. But she ultimately has a lot of idiosyncrasies with her, and at times she can be very friendly and she can be very kind, but then something happens and a switch gets flipped, and she very quickly turns to that that evil personality, just that horror person, and so to have that switch and to be able to do it on stage very quickly.
To access that yourself.
Yes, yeah, especially again, mostly children I work with. And several of them have, Miss Kelly, we want to come see you, and I'm like, no,
not this one, not this one, right?
Not at all. But yeah, I love being able to play her, and I'm so thankful for Joe and the production crew for giving me this opportunity. Because I tend to, as an actor, I like being able to play things that are very different from me. Because, you don't get, obviously I'm not walking around, being mean to people, but, not all the time. So it is a fun opportunity to be able to do something just a little outside your comfort zone.
Absolutely, to explore that side of yourself.
Yes.
Right? That's incredible.
And we try to use, a lot of people are scared on stage to have silence.
Sure.
And silence is so beneficial, especially with horror, because you want to hear those creaks. You want to hear, and you want the mind to kind of take over what the horror is.
And it builds
because your
that
brain
tension.
is going to be 10 times worse than whatever you might see or hear.
That's exactly right.
And we've had those moments where I've told them, and they're like, Joe, I don't want to pause this long. I'm like, no, you want to.
Yeah.
You want that to soak in. You want the audience to feel that that unease.
I love that about theater, like that really collaborative nature where you're feeling that moment and you can get the eyes of what the audience experience is going to be like and make it even more effective. That's really tremendous. I'm so excited about the way that y'all are working together. Now, Buster is the character's name?
Yes.
I have to be honest with you, I don't really remember Buster in the show. Tell me about the character of Buster.
Buster is on stage a few times.
Yeah.
And since you don't remember him, I'm going to let it be a surprise.
Okay.
That's a tease.
Good, that's a teaser.
That's a tease. All right.
That is so good. Good. Okay, tell us about the show opens this weekend, is that right?
Opens this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, matinee, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, matinee. So this weekend, you can have your Halloween parties, go out, have some drinks beforehand, and then come and get scared in theater.
What could be better? What could be better? It's going to be so exciting. So where do people get tickets?
They can go to the website.
Yeah, it's WilmingtonDramaLeague.org.
Excellent.
And then go to
you
the
can
box
order
office.
tickets online. I think they can also call and order tickets. I think you can pay online or pay at the box office.
Give me like
when
a
you come
ticket
in.
price range. What are we looking at?
I think they're
20 to
25, yeah.
The affordability, Delaware.
It really is. For a
The
super
accessibility.
high quality show, honestly.
Oh my gosh, this is incredible.
And we got, Drama League's got brand new seats.
Yes.
So
You were telling me about the upgrades to the space.
your butt will be totally comfortable while you're being scared.
Right? Your butt will be comfortable. The rest of you won't
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
That is so excellent. Let's see. So
I was going to bring us, so for our theater
Please.
nerds, tell us about this week is specifically intense because it's called Tech Week.
Oh.
Can you walk us through what exactly that is? You can see it on Joe's face. What exactly that entails? For those that may be watchers of theater and may not have been in it, how hectic is Tech Week?
What a great question.
So this is actually my first main stage performance because most of, as I mentioned, it was improv. So yesterday we started Tech Week, so it was my first time doing something called Q to Q, which is, for those who don't know, which I did not up until yesterday, was kind of going through the show and making sure you've got all the lighting cues and the sound cues and entrances and exits and things like that. And the show itself is only about 2 hours, but Q to Q yesterday took close to 4. And it's very time consuming. It can be intense because you've got people talking on headsets and then someone backstage being like, hold, when you're in the middle of a scene. And
It's the first time you're really melding. Rehearsals, when you're doing regular rehearsals, it's basically for the actors.
Yes.
It's the actors, the directors. You might have some props and stuff, but Q to Q and Tech Day is the first time you're bringing in. We have projections, back projections. We have music. I have a friend of mine, Sean McKean, who wrote original music. So you're putting that in for the first time. You're doing sound and light, and you've got a crew. We have a crew of like 10 backstage.
Incredible.
It's only a 2 to 3 person show, but there are 10 people backstage that are busting their humps to get everything happen at the same time. And just everybody starts getting that group think. And we started around like 12:30 in the afternoon. I walked out at 11:30 last night. And that's the typical.
Did you walk out I feel like you feel so.
I walked out.
Your vision is coming to life.
That and
you're
also
burned
I
out,
need
but also
to get into bed because there's 3 more days of that intense scrutiny, and it's always amazing. No matter what problems are happening and what issues are going on. Thursday night when you do your preview night and it's up there and you just watch it and people are in the audience and either screaming or laughing or whatever. There's a lot of humor in this.
Yes.
Very dark.
Very dark humor.
But there's a lot of humor in it, and I usually just stand in the back of the theater and just soak it in and just like, wow, this is what I wanted. It's up there. These people have created it. And it just makes you so happy.
I love that you brought up the number of people who work backstage and all the other elements that go into it, because I think with theater, a lot of people don't realize how technical it is, how many moving parts there are, and that's one of the things that I love the most about it is if you go and see this production of Misery, as Matt and I are going to do, $20 to $25, super affordable, super comfortable chairs, but what you really get to do is for 2 hours unplug, disconnect from the world outside, and watch a couple dozen people make art for you live, from the people backstage to the people on stage, and you get to experience that with your friends and neighbors. What could be better than screaming with your friends and neighbors?
And we remember, Drama League has a bar.
They do have
So,
a
yes, you can do it with a beer in your hand. So.
Before we start, you had told me an interesting fact in the News Journal today. Can you tell our audience?
The News Journal rated Stephen King novels. Misery is number 6. Top 10.
Top 10.
Top 10.
I'm
We're in
going to
the
read
top
that.
10.
Excellent. It's a perfect tease. Way to end the show. I love it. So one more time, where can people get tickets?
WilmingtonDramaLeague.org. And you can order your tickets online. And also on that website, if you want to call and leave a number to pay at the box office, you can do that. The number is online. And I never call the Drama League, so.
Because he's always there.
Right. And for those that aren't familiar, it's on the corner of Market and Lee Boulevard, right? So
Well, it's up the street
up
from
the street.
Market.
Okay. But yeah, if you haven't been, please check it out. Super quality theater. Having known Joe a while, Joe is very good with his technical aspects of his show, so it's a treat. Before we go, you guys made it exceptionally hard for Joe, I heard, because you had just an enormous amount of people come out for this show. For people that have 3 roles,
We had
just an enormous amount of people.
37 people. came
Yeah,
out.
for 3 roles, which is incredible. Yeah.
There were a lot of
The
no's.
That's a
I had
testament to you all,
tell people.
honestly.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Congratulations. My gosh, what an accomplishment to be a part of this. And Joe, I'm so thrilled for you because I know this has been something that you've wanted to do for a long
Love it.
time. So
Absolutely love it.
I can't wait to experience it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you all for being with us. We hope break legs.
Break all the legs.
Break
Well,
all the legs.
we do
A little too soon.
Our thanks so much to today's guests for Joe and the cast of Misery here, as well as Dan, and we appreciate them being here. It was
Dan ChickHolla.
We appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for hosting with
My
me.
pleasure.
It's been
Thank
the
you
best.
for
We'll have to do
hosting
it again. We'll tell Ivan he can take more time off.
Take a vacation, Ive. I got you.
All right, thank you so much, and we will see you on Wednesday with Mishak, I believe, is hosting. We'll be here Wednesday, live 10 a.m. We'll see you then. I will see you tomorrow night at 7:30 on the news. Shameless plug, I can't help myself.
Shameless.
We'll see you. Have a great day. Take care.